from what I have experienced in Japan and other places, talking with the laity, with the lay people in our schools, sometimes Christian, sometimes non-Christian, no? I see that one of the difficulties in this cooperation is the language we Jesuits use. Yesterday I told the Jesuits, please, no, make all this language very simple, direct, easy to understand. Let us avoid jargon. It's very common for a group that is used to its own literature and its own jargon, its own terminology, to use that as matter of fact, as common sense. But they are not common sense. No? I remember that in Japan, when I visited, as provincial, visited the schools, I would meet also the teachers, so to get feedback about how the lay people working with us feel. And they were telling me, we are very happy because there are courses of formation now, training for us, no, so that we can contribute more to the Ignatian way of education, which in Japan is considered highly by our cooperators and so forth. He said, but often, no, we are blocked by terms that we don't know what they mean, no? Like discernment, all of a sudden. These guys use the word discernment, which in Japanese doesn't exist, the word, so we had to make a word. No? Therefore, but we use the word because it's so much part of we use the word, and then they are blocked. Say what they are talking about. What are they talking about? No? So, and then we are losing part of the message. No? I think we have to become more humble and use the language of everybody. And if we have good teachers in our schools, it's because they are very committed to education. They are very committed to reflect about pedagogy and so forth. So they want to be good teachers, and that's what we want to be. If we speak about Ignatian pedagogy, it's because we are interested in good education. Why don't we talk about good education instead of Ignatian pedagogy? Good education is based on this kind of factors, no? That then anybody can understand, and it makes it easier to cooperate and to work together. If we say, well, Ignatian pedagogy, and then we give a list of names for every chapter, a different name, at the end people say, oh, they are the experts, no? We are poor collaborators, no? And I don't think this is a very healthy process. We should call a spade, huh? And if what we want is good education, let's call it good education. And if we think that good education requires involvement of the person, therefore begin with an experience and increase the ability to reflect and to grow through education, let's call it like this, because this everybody understands, Christians and non-Christians. We have in some of our schools, we have, even in our university, the president of our university in Tokyo is a non-Christian. Two principals of our schools are non-Christians. One is a Buddhist. I know him for many years. And he came to our school because he studied pedagogy and education in the university. And he discovered that he's a Buddhist, strong Buddhist. He discovered that Buddhism doesn't have a philosophy of education, because it's something, they have these little schools where you have a master, a disciple kind of thing, no? But today that's totally out of use. No? And so he said, so we don't have a philosophy of education. Then he began to study. And he came to the conclusion that the best philosophy of education is the one that the Jesuits had in history. No? And he studied that in a secular university in Japan. So he wanted very much to be a teacher in our school, and he was accepted. And he was so happy. And he told me that he went to the principal, a Jesuit, and told him, I'm so happy to be accepted here because this is my life, is education. And I believe in Jesuit education, so how can I help you? No? And he was very disappointed because the principal told him, don't worry, just prepare your classes well and leave the rest to us. Doesn't that sound arrogant. No? But this was the thinking that we take care of education and the collaborators take care of the preparing the classes. No? But education is ours. No? And he told me 25 years later, he said, now that there are few Jesuits, they have asked me to, at the time he was vice principal, and finally I am delighted because this is what I wanted to do all my life. No? And I was thinking, what a waste of a good man. No? A man with a heart, with a vision, and we have not been able to bring him into our service. And he has helped the Jesuits in many other things, and he had a vision of the school. No? At one moment there was a crisis with a younger Buddhist that he was not happy in the school, and he was criticizing always. You have a chapel, this is brainwashing and all that. There should be no chapel in the school and so forth, and bring all the children to the chapel and so forth, all the time. So they asked all the Buddhists, can you help with this young man? No? He doesn't belong here. So he went to the young man, and what he said was wonderful. Really, he has gotten that. No? He said, look, young man, you don't seem to understand. No? You complain about this school having a chapel. No? He said, the moment in this school, the moment you enter the gate, everything is chapel. Everything. So if you don't like Christian education, you go somewhere else. But here, the moment you enter the gate, everything is chapel. This is perfectly the Ignatian view of everything, of every ministry. No? Everything that we do is integrated